ポンそろそろ家に入りましょうか。
The best antagonist, and honestly one of the most complex, mysterious, and misunderstood characters in Chainsaw Man, is Makima. Most people only see her as an object of sexualization. The pretty face, the calm voice, the perfect posture, the iconic red hair and cold eyes. But when you actually look deeper, when you really pay attention to how she behaves and what she represents, you realize she's something much more terrifying. Makima is control itself. She's manipulation personified. And the scariest part is, she hides it behind a smile so gentle that even the audience falls for it at first. At the beginning of the story, she seems like a savior. She's the first person who treats Denji like a human being. She gives him food, clothes, a home, a purpose. She tells him she'll take care of him. And after the miserable life he's had, he instantly becomes devoted to her. And that's the first trick she plays, not just on Denji, but on us. Because we also want to believe her. We want to think that she's kind, that she's one of the good people in this cruel world. But little by little, her mask starts to slip. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes anymore. Her tone becomes colder. Her orders start to sound less like guidance and more like commands. And when we learn about her power, it's horrifying. She can kill anyone from a distance just by knowing their name. And when she herself gets hurt or killed, all the pain and damage are magically transferred to random innocent people in Japan. She is, quite literally, untouchable. There's one moment that perfectly captures her unnatural power, the train scene. When she's shot in the head, everyone thinks she's dead, but just a few seconds later, she stands up again, her face covered in blood, and calmly walks out of the train as if nothing happened. That's when you realize you're not dealing with a human anymore. You're dealing with something far beyond human understanding, something divine and monstrous at the same time. Even her eyes, those yellow concentric rings, perfectly reflect her nature. They're beautiful, but there's nothing warm behind them. They're the eyes of someone who sees the world as pieces on a chessboard, and she's always the one moving them. Makima doesn't just control people physically. She controls their emotions, their sense of belonging, even their dreams. She gives Denji everything he ever wanted: food, comfort, affection, and then slowly takes it all away. There's a moment in the anime where she's close to Denji, leaning against his chest, whispering in his ear. To the audience it might look intimate or romantic, but if you really look at her expression, her eyes are empty. There's no real warmth there. She's not touching him because she cares. She's testing him, seeing how far his devotion goes. But the truly chilling part comes later. In the manga, when Aki and Angel reach the beach, they find Makima standing there, wearing a simple black dress, looking almost divine. The scene feels quiet, almost peaceful, until we realize what's about to happen. Makima takes control of both of them. She turns Aki into the gun fiend, stripping him of his will, and sends him to kill Denji. When Denji kills him in self-defense, the horror of it hits like a punch. Aki wasn't just his comrade. He was like an older brother to him, and Makima knew exactly what she was doing. She wanted Denji to destroy the people he loved, one by one. After that, Denji is broken, lost, and then Makima, like always, appears to comfort him. She invites him to her apartment. It's calm, quiet, and warm. For a brief moment, Denji feels safe again, like maybe, finally, everything will be okay. But then Power shows up at the door with a cake, smiling and shouting, "Happy birthday!"
Oh.
And in that instant, Makima kills her. No hesitation, no remorse, just a clean, emotionless execution. That was the moment everything fell apart. She took away both of his friends, the same people she gave him to begin with. She took away his home, his peace, his reason to keep living. She built his world just so she could destroy it herself. And that's Makima's true nature. Her goal wasn't to love Denji or even to use him as a weapon. Her real goal was to break him, to strip away his humanity and force out the real Chainsaw Man, the terrifying devil that lives inside him. She wanted to be close to him not because she cared, but because she worshipped what he represents. She's obsessed with Chainsaw Man, not Denji. To her, Denji is just a vessel, a stepping stone to reach the ultimate being of chaos and destruction that she admires. When you think about it, everything she ever did was manipulation. From the very first chapter, she was pulling strings. Remember the Yakuza scene? She shows up in front of a group of gangsters, politely offering to return the eyes of their loved ones that she had taken. Then she smiles and tells them she can make it all right again. But when one of them dares to move against her, she stops him with a single word. He freezes instantly, and she calmly finishes her sentence as if nothing happened. That scene alone shows how powerful and terrifying she is, not because of raw strength, but because of how little effort it takes for her to control others. Makima isn't just an antagonist. She's the embodiment of manipulation, control, and false hope. She gives people what they want most, only to turn it against them, and that's why she's so brilliant as a villain. You can't even fully hate her because in some strange way you understand her logic. She believes that her way, her vision of a perfect, controlled world, is the right one. In her mind, she's not evil, she's fixing the chaos. Every word she says is calculated. Every gesture has a purpose. She doesn't shout, she doesn't need to. Her quiet voice is enough to make anyone obey. She's terrifying not because she kills, but because she does it with such calm certainty. She's like a god who doesn't need to prove her power. She simply is power. And that's why the twist of her being the main villain hits so hard. At first, we thought Makima was one of the good ones, the strong, mysterious woman who would guide Denji and help him grow. But slowly, piece by piece, we realized she was the very thing destroying him from the inside. That reveal changed everything, and it turned Chainsaw Man from just another dark action manga into something much deeper. Makima represents the beauty and horror of control. She's calm, elegant, graceful, but every bit of that grace hides cruelty and obsession. She's not just manipulating Denji, she's manipulating us, the readers, making us love her, admire her, and fear her all at once. And even after her story ends, her presence lingers. You can still feel her influence in every part of the world she left behind. That's what makes her such an incredible antagonist. She's unforgettable. So yeah, the best antagonist in Chainsaw Man, and one of the best in anime history, is without a doubt Makima. She's terrifying, beautiful, intelligent, and utterly fascinating. And maybe that's why people can't stop talking about her, even after everything she's done. What about you? Who's your favorite anime antagonist, and why?